Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. In this video, we're going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is another part of the Jet Starlight non-canon side story. This is essentially a non-canon side story that takes place after the events of episode number 39 of Jet Starlight and Zana Fairy Monster Hunters, in which Jet Starlight has been fighting a number of different opponents, essentially just speed running through bad guys that you guys suggest for him to fight on the Discord. Spoilers for episodes number 1 through 39, potentially, will be in this episode, of course, but keep in mind that everything that happens in this episode takes place in an alternate universe, like splitting, branching timeline from the events of episode 39 and will not affect the main series. Also, because I'm fighting a new enemy, it is safe for you to watch this episode without necessarily having watched the other episodes prior, especially since there is somewhat of a recap at the very beginning of the episode. Also, people keep messaging me and calling me, so I apologize if you hear like buzzing and extra stuff in the background. I'm trying to remember what part we're on now of the series, so I'm going to check that now. It looks like we're on part 5, so this is actually the 5th episode of the non-canon side story, so I hope you guys are excited. Without further ado, let's start this episode by starting up the timer and then jumping right in by reading the last action from the previous episode. You attempt to use hydrokinetic healing salve to heal you of any diseases you may have and to regenerate your body back in the land of the living. You apply the salve all over your body and feel a tingling sensation. The tingling goes away and you feel like $1,000,000. You believe that the salve has cured you of any diseases you had and have regenerated your body back to its former glory. You are Jet Starlight. Well, keep in mind, that was the last action, the thing that ends at your former glory. This next part is what I put in to set up the new fight, because someone on our Discord, shout out to the fans on Discord, essentially told me who Jet Starlight will be fighting next. So I set up a little story blurb in order to explain how we got from where we last left off to where we are now. You are Jet Starlight. You have just resurrected inside of the desert dimension after defeating SCP-049. A time portal opens up in front of Jet Starlight. Nox emerges through the time portal and closes it behind him. Nox says, "I sense great magical power within you. I have been separated from my family by a gap in time that I cannot cross with my power alone. I need to kill you so that I may use your magical energy to travel far enough back in time to reunite with my family." Nox uses a powerful magic artifact known as the Ilia Cube to conjure a pendulum-shaped sword made of pure energy. Nox gets into a battle stance. You say, "I live to fight powerful opponents. Today has been my lucky day. I fought my own son, a mind-warping dragon, the Yule Man, Ainz, and SCP-049. You mentioned that you have a family that you want to reunite with. I have a family of my own that I need my magical power to protect. If it's a fight you want, then it's a fight you'll get. You generate a suit of void ice armor around your body and arm yourself with 2 void ice sabers. The helmet of your void ice armor is shaped like the head of a dragon. The battle between you and Nox in the desert dimension is about to begin. Who will win?" And now we can jump from there into, the nitty-gritty, into the battle. So I'm double checking to make sure that the timer's running and that we are recording. Now let's jump right into the fight. So I'm going to attempt to I was going to go for a decapitation, but I should try and disarm him. You attempt to slice off Nox's arms using your void ice sabers. Your goal is to disarm Nox of his Ilia Cube and of his pendulum sword so that he can't use either against you in battle. So Nox has been explained to me to be a cyborg who has some time manipulation abilities, and that his Elia cube is used in order for him to summon weapons, and that he's trying to kill Jet Starlight because he wants to use Jet Starlight's magical energy in order to travel back in time to reunite with his family. So let's see what happens. I just tried to disarm Nox by chopping off his arms. Nox uses the Elia cube to conjure a solid energy shield to block your strike. The force of the impact from your strike is enough to push Nox's body into the sand and completely drain the strength of your right arm. Oh goodness. So my right arm, I guess, is kind of dead because I completely drained the strength of it. So what I'll need to do is I'm going to attempt to use hydrokinetic healing salve to restore the power, or I guess to restore my right arm. And then I also would probably want to, I need to get the Elia cube away from him, because as long as he has that, he can keep just conjuring more and more energy weapons. But I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to do that. You think that you need to try and find a way to quickly disarm Nox of the Elia cube in order to be able to quickly defeat Nox. Using the salve, you instantly regenerate your right arm and the pain fades away completely. Okay, cool. So now what I need to do, because he has a shield, a sword, and the Elia cube, and as long as he has the cube, he can summon new weapons. So it doesn't really matter if I break his existing weapons, if he can use the cube to replace them. He's also using the cube to defend the cube, because if I try to hit the cube, he can just summon like a shield or something to block the cube. And the shields are insanely powerful, because like it said, when I tried to hit its shield with my sword, it essentially like drained all the energy out of my right arm, and I had to regenerate my arm using hydrokinetic healing salve. So how can I get the cube away from him? I guess I know what I can do. You attempt to use portal magic to steal Nox's Elia cube away from him to prevent him from using the Elia cube to generate any more energy weapons. So there you go. Yeah, all I have to do is like open a portal, reach through it, grab the Elia cube, and then he won't have it anymore. Nox is carrying the Elia cube in his hand. It would be impossible for you to just grab away the Elia cube unless Nox willingly gives it to you. So the game's just like, nope, you can't just reach through a portal and snatch it away from him. It's not going to be that easy. Okay, fair enough. I accept that, and I'm going to go for an alternative. So I have tons of powers. Here's what I'll do. Attempt to summon... Ooh, that actually makes a lot of sense. A white-flamed, three-headed dragon. And command it to overpower Nox so that you can snatch away Nox's Elia cube. Yeah, so if you guys don't know already, I'm a big fan of summoning white flame three-headed dragons. You summon the white flame three-headed dragon. It is indeed a very fearsome creature. The dragon breathes frost at Nox, causing him to become frozen in place. You run over to Nox and take away his Elia cube. It's interesting that the white flame dragon is an ice dragon in this case. Not what I expected, but I get it. It kind of makes sense. So I froze him in place and took his cube. So I guess the next thing is I'm I'm going to attempt to destroy Nox's Elia cube using my Void Ice Sabers. Your goal is to disarm Nox of his Elia cube. Well, I guess your goal is to prevent Nox from being able to get his Elia cube back to use against you. Yeah, like if I can stop him from getting the Elia cube in order to summon more energy weapons, then all he has is like a sword and a shield. You cut the Elia cube into several pieces. However, Nox's shield stops your attack. You won't stop me, hero. I'll slice you into 1,000 pieces, Nox screams, as his shield prevents your sabers from being able to damage the Elia cube or his body. So I cut the cube into several pieces, but the cube isn't destroyed? You are surprised that the Elia cube can still function even when cut into several pieces. You tried to figure out how you could make the Elia cube unusable. You try to freeze. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, you attempt to freeze the Elia cube pieces in Void Ice. Your goal is to freeze the Elia cube pieces in Void Ice, and then detonate the Void Ice to completely destroy the Elia cube. Because that's one of the cool things about my ice abilities. I can tell the ice to blow itself up. So that can be how I detonate the cube in order to completely destroy it. You cast Void Ice on Nox's Elia cube and then detonate it. The Void Ice explodes. However, Nox's shield prevents the Elia cube from taking any damage. You fool. You're only making this situation worse for yourself. Nox laughs. Also, I was giving Nox a weird cyborg voice earlier, and then I just kind of gave up on that. I keep forgetting that he's a cyborg. Let's see. So I made ice around the cube, but it sounds like he can make each piece shield itself. You think that Nox can use the cube, like use the Elia cube, to generate shields around the individual pieces of the Elia cube in order to protect them from complete destruction. You decide that destroying the Elia cube is likely a lost cause, but keeping the Elia cube away from Nox is likely worthwhile. You command the three-headed white flame dragon to get between Nox and the Elia cube so that you can send the Elia cube, to another dimension using your portal magic. You hope that the three-headed white flame dragon will be able to prevent Nox from stopping you from getting rid of the Elia cube. You know, if Nox can't get in the way, then I can finally, like, send it away. Because before it was in his hand. Now I don't think it's in his hand anymore. Now I think it's just in pieces on the ground. You cast your portal spell, and the three-headed white flame dragon prevents Nox from approaching. You send the Elia cube into another dimension. Nox's shields disappear as he can no longer afford to power them. Oh, sweet! So he, like, loses his energy weapons once the Elia cube is sent away. You're happy that your plan worked, and that Nox's energy weapons were dispelled once you banished his Elia cube to another dimension. So now I just need to try and defeat Nox. You attempt to impale Nox through the waist with both of your Void Ice Sabers and cleave Nox in half by swiftly pulling your Void Ice Sabers in opposite directions. You succeed in bisecting Nox, but he divides into 3 separate entities. All of the Noxes immediately begin to regenerate and heal themselves. You fool! Do you realize the amount of energy it will take for me to fully regenerate myself? I'm limited in this place. Interesting. So there are now 3 Noxes. That's not what I expected. I kind of thought Nox couldn't do anything once I got rid of his cube. I do know that he has minor time manipulation, but I had no idea that he could, like, bisect like this. So I need to defeat him without cutting him, I guess? I have an idea. Let's see. You notice that Nox is a cyborg. You imagine that if you can drain Nox of all of his electricity, that his cybernetic components will fail and he will die. You attempt to manipulate the electricity inside of Nox in order to force the electricity out of his body using your elemental nature change ability. So I'm essentially trying to drain his batteries. You're able to force all of the electricity out of Nox's cybernetic components. Nox falls on the ground and begins to malfunction. The Noxes attempt to drain you of your energy in order to save their father. You immediately try to escape the throne room. That last part's kind of weird. I don't know. They do want to reunite with their family. So maybe when they attempt to drain you of your energy in order to save their father, it's like they're trying to drain you of your energy in order to, get back home to their family. It says you immediately try to escape the throne room. I'm not going to do that. Okay. You are surprised that the 3 Nox... I guess the 3 Noxes? I don't know how to explain that. That the 3 because they're not clones. The 3 Noxes, I guess, are capable of absorbing your magical energy. You thought that the 3 Noxes, or maybe you don't say Noxes, just say the 3 Nox. Yeah, that actually sounds better. You thought that the 3 Nox would just die once you removed all their electricity. So now what do I do? Yeah, because I'm getting like drained, and I'm not a big fan of getting drained. You attempt to freeze the 3 Nox in void ice in order to completely disable their systems, in order to stop them from attack. Well, I guess in order to completely incapacitate and restrain them. You manage to encase the 3 Nox in void ice. They are completely incapacitated and cannot move or think. You place them in a corner. Nox is on the floor and is still attempting to heal himself with his cybernetic implants. He is slowly recovering from your attempted assassination. What? Nox should be frozen in the void ice. Like, it's not like there's like a 4th Nox kind of thing. And I'm not going to place them in the corner. We're in the desert dimension. Like, what corner would there be to place them in? Okay. I don't know if it would be better to try and blow the Noxes up. Like, try and detonate it. Because you could just end up making more Nox that way. I think I have an idea. You attempt to use portal magic to send the 3 frozen Nox into the sun. You are hoping that they will be destroyed when shot directly into the sun. There we go. So that's my plan. Because, I mean, how are they going to get back anyways if they get thrown into the sun? The portal magic was successful. Your 3 frozen Nox associates are heading directly into the sun. Congratulations, you have defeated the 3 sons of the realm of madness. Nope, I wasn't trying to fight 3 sons of the realm of madness, but that would be really interesting if I was. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's the end of Nox. I feel like it's pretty difficult to get out of that situation. So I have like 8 minutes left. But I don't really have anything else to do. So I guess I'm going to end this particular fight here. Let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord who should Jet Starlight fight next in these non-canon side stories. I love seeing you guys' character suggestions for who Jet Starlight should face off against. Also, I've started a new series of videos called AI Dungeon 2 Ultimate Volition, where I compete in these superpower tournaments where each competitor has 3 powers and the winner gets granted 1 wish. If you guys would like to submit your own character ideas for characters that I can play as or face off against in Ultimate Volition, definitely put those in the comment section below and on our Discord. Also, if you guys are very interested in learning more about Jet Starlight and all of his canon adventures, I highly recommend that you check out the Jet Starlight and Zana Fairy Monster Hunters Complete Series playlist if you'd like to watch the entire series. We also have playlists for each season. We're currently in Season 4, but we're in the middle of this non-canon side story filler arc where we're just kind of having Jet Starlight face off against all these like monsters that you guys want him to face off against in like a cool like fan service way. So yeah, so feel free to help the channel out by hitting us up with that subscribe button. You know, you can smash that. The like button as well. You know, that'd be nice too. Joining the Discord is great because that's the easiest way for us to talk one-on-one, especially if you guys have suggestions for like safe for work prompts that you'd like me to play in my AI Dungeon 2 videos, because I'm definitely open to suggestions, especially if your prompts have a dedicated goal, like a very specific goal for me to achieve, because I also will speed run AI Dungeon 2 prompts on the channel where I try to complete a prompt within 30 minutes or less. As you notice, I set a 30-minute timer for this video. I just happen to be able to complete it a lot faster. That being said, I have a lot of experience now doing these like RPG AI Dungeon 2 battles. It's essentially my bread and butter kind of thing. Like I'm getting really good at these fights, so don't be surprised if I'm just able to like wipe the floor with opponents. I will say, Nox gave me a run for my money. I spent a lot of my time trying to get rid of that Elliot cube because I felt like it would be hard to fight an opponent who could just constantly summon energy weapons. Nox does have like time manipulation abilities that I don't think he used at all. Maybe he did some weird time thing where he made like 3 of himself. But the thing about it is that the whole point of Nox trying to fight me is that he was trying to kill me in order to take my magical energy. So he wanted to take my magical energy because he needed it in order to fuel his time-based abilities so that he could go back and reunite with his family. So if anyone's like, well, if Nox had time manipulation abilities, why didn't he like go back in time and like kill you as a baby? Or why didn't he do like some crazy like time manipulation stuff during the fight? I think the craziest time thing he could have done was create a time portal like he did to show up. But I imagine he didn't have much more temporal energy than that. And that's why he tries to like absorb my energy like near the end of the fight when I dispel all the electricity out of him. Because that's kind of what he wanted the whole time. So I don't mind that he didn't do any crazy time stuff. I guess he could have potentially tried to like stop time or rewind time and stuff like that. And that would have been interesting for sure. But I just think he didn't have enough power for that. Maybe under different circumstances, like if he wasn't trying to recharge his magic reserves, Nox could have actually used his time manipulation abilities to like a greater extent and be able to like really mess me up. But considering that he depended so heavily on the Elliot cube, as soon as I took that out of the equation, he was kind of done, son. Though I will say that him regenerating and forming into 3 different opponents could have been pretty bad news bears. Like, depending on how he could have like done like a cool teamwork thing with his like extra clones, he could have really like gotten my number in a fight. Because it would have been like a 3-on-1 kind of thing. Especially if he could have like regenerated the Elliot cube, like if he could have formed a new Elliot cube or something, and then there were 3 of them with Elliot cubes, I don't know how I would have dealt with that. I will say on like the power scale, like comparing him to like other enemies I fought, he doesn't seem like he was particularly strong compared to like Ainz or the Yule Man. He seems like he was stronger than SCP-049, I would say, when it comes to just a straight up fight. Because all SCP-049 did was really curse me, and that was about it. And the curse was really powerful. Like, I'm not gonna lie and act like the curse was like weak sauce or anything. But when it comes to someone who can straight up just throw hands and fight with you, I do think that Nox's like shield abilities were really good. I'm not sure if I can recall another time where I hit somebody's shield and by doing so, it made my arm not work. That sounds really good. So props to Nox on that. I would say his defense was A1. He spent so much time trying to defend the Elliot cube, though, he didn't really have enough time to actually like hit me with an attack. So I guess I can't give him too much credit, because at least SCP-049 landed the curse, you know what I mean? In this circumstance, it was more of he was a really good defender. And to be honest, Nox doesn't really seem like a bad guy. He just wanted to be reunited with his family. As far as I know, the amount of magic that he needs in order to travel through time in the first place is like huge. So maybe he didn't really have a choice when it comes to like having to kill me in order to go back in time to see his family. And I imagine under other circumstances, I would have just helped Nox. But considering the fact that Jet Starlight is all about fighting like super powerful opponents, it just kind of makes sense that he would be like, oh, you want to fight? Then let's fight. You know, he'd just be down for it. I'd love to see like fan art, fan comics, fan animation of like this battle. If you guys would love to like do something like that, I would love to see it. So if you post that on the Discord, I think that'd be really cool. Also, if you guys would like to see Nox used again, like in some kind of future adventure, maybe a scenario where I like play as Nox and I have like a 30-minute speed run where I need to find enough magical energy in order to go back to like visit my family, I could do something like that. Let me know if you'd be interested in that in like the comment section below or on the Discord. If you want to see Nox appear in an Ultimate Volition fight, where I either play as Nox in like an Ultimate Volition tournament, or I face off against Nox using a different character, like not necessarily playing as like Jet Starlight. Definitely let me know in the description, not in the description, in the comment section below and on our Discord. I get that confused so often. I'm trying to see, because I've been talking for a while. I got like 1 minute and like 30 seconds left. I more or less just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. The channel's been growing and growing and growing, and it really wouldn't be able to do so without viewers like you sharing this content with your friends and letting your friends know that they can participate in the content creation process by hitting me up with suggestions for the types of videos that you guys want to see, by suggesting scenarios and characters for me to incorporate into these AI Dungeon 2 adventures. So thank you all once again. Let me know whether or not I should do a part 6 to the non-canon side stories, or whether or not we should just jump back to the canon story and continue season 4 where we left off by jumping into episode 40. Thank you all once again so much. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chickadagawa.